retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to Fast Friday from Atlanta Motor Speedway here on FS1. It has been a busy day for NASCAR's best. We have had 5 practices already today. The only thing left is Cup qualifying, so we want to get down to it. Jamie Little for what to watch for.
So one thing remains what everybody is thinking, and that is tonight is completely unknown, whether it's drivers or crew chiefs. Even though we had one practice session earlier, everyone is still scratching their head. I talked to the guy who was fastest, Clint Boyer, and he seems to think that it's still going to be single car runs tonight that will end up being the fastest for pole speed. Some, though, think that maybe running in the draft, getting a little help from your friends and your teammates will be the fastest for the pole. But you look at who's going to be the fastest tonight, and Kevin Harvick is a guy that everybody looks to when you come to Atlanta. He had issues earlier today. Just 2 laps in, he realized he had a power steering issue. He never did get back out on the track. The team thinks that they did fix the issue, so he will be one to watch here in qualifying. So a lot of unknowns, but it's so much fun, and definitely a lot of uncertainty in these drivers, Sarah.
All right, thanks, Jamie. That's what makes it exciting, and you heard her talk about it. Nobody really knows what to expect, and Jamie, that's why there's so much anticipating for this qualifying.
Yeah, so this has been talked about at the race shops for the last couple of months. Everyone thought that when this rules package came out that we would have qualifying similar to what the Truck Series has, where it's single car. When NASCAR announced that they weren't going to change it, everyone started talking about, are we going to draft? What's our plan going to be when we get to qualifying? We're now a few minutes from it, and we still don't know.
Right, you think of drafting, you think of Daytona and Talladega, but you know, it could apply here.
It might.
This is a completely new package. Anytime we have a rule change, it puts teams off balance. We know the marquee names: Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano. Watch for some surprise guys up front.
All right, don't forget, we have another busy day tomorrow on tap as well. It starts in the morning, 9:30 Eastern, Xfinity qualifying, followed by qualifying for the Gander Outdoors Truck Series. Cup's final practice at noon, and then we've got a double header. First, the Xfinity cars get started at 1:30 with race day and the trucks immediately following. When we get back, the Cup drivers are going to hit the track for Cup qualifying. What can we expect? Well, we're about to find out. Stick around. Fast Friday continues.
Well, the squirrels are back in the attic.
Mom?
Your dad won't call an exterminator.
Can I call you back, Mom?
He says it's personal this time.
If you're a mom, you call it the worst time. That's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Where are you? It's very loud there. Are you taking a Zumba class?
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. When your flight gets in late, it's never too early for coffee. Oh, no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Who is that ready this early? It's only 7 a.m. Somebody help me. Close call. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast and a warm welcome. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
Run with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor, because changing your attachments should be as easy as
What about this?
changing your plans.
Yeah.
Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month at Cricket.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone's having a good hair day. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Reese's eggs are back, and we hit them somewhere you'll never find. Psych! We put them everywhere. Grocery stores and supermarkets, gas stations and chiropractors' offices, bowling alleys and grocery stores, which we already mentioned. Not sorry, Reese's.
What's my tax prep gonna cost?
Can't really say that till the end.
Wait, no. H&R Block has upfront transparent pricing, so you know the price before you begin.
So it can work like that.
I could give you a ballpark.
Know the price before you begin with new upfront transparent pricing. Block has your back.
Lift away itch, flakes, and doubt. Stay headstrong with Head & Shoulders.
At Outback, your steak and lobster wish is our command. Steak and lobster is back by popular demand. starting at only $15.99. Hurry into Outback. And if you want Outback at home, order now.
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated, but 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
John Tyson's motto was, "When better chickens are hatched, we will hatch them." It's why all of the Tyson chicken that bears his name is raised with no antibiotics ever. Every nugget, strip, and drumstick. Keep it real. Keep it Tyson.
Welcome back. Time's almost here for a Cup qualifying. You're looking at William Byron. He was on the pole last week in Daytona before finishing 21st. Kevin Harvick, he won at Atlanta last year, has dominated on that track. Meanwhile, Clint Boyer, he was fastest in practice earlier today. It is time to get you out to the track. Mike Joy, take it away.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everybody. Well, what did we learn from the one practice session we've had so far? The two fastest drivers were in Fords, Boyer and Almirola. The next two, Dillon and Busch in Chevrolets, and the next two in Toyotas, Hamlin and Truex. So there's parity in the top 6. We didn't learn anything there. What did we learn?
Well, I had my scanners on because that's kind of how I figure out what's going on with the drivers. So I thought, oh, it's going to be so good. I can't wait to hear. They're going to start complaining. They're going to start. First thing I heard was car handled pretty good, bottomed out a little bit, lap time was pretty good. I kind of like what we got. Bring it on in. I thought, what? But Jeff knows this. The first cars on the racetrack, I think the 10 and the 14, they always run fast laps. This track is really fast when you first get on, but after that, it's a matter of can you back that up or not.
Yeah, what surprised me was how fast they were actually running. I expected with that big blade, all the drag that these cars have, less horsepower than they've run here in Atlanta in the past. I expected them to be a lot slower, and I thought that when we went to this qualifying session, we might see some drafting, as we heard Ricky and we heard Jamie McMurray talking about earlier. I don't think we're going to see that. I think handling is going to be a premium, and I think single car runs is going to be what gets you to round 2, and you get to compete for the pole as well.
Yeah, it seemed that the cars that did try drafting in practice, it did not improve their speed. So we'll see. Jamie?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting hearing from everybody. Matt DiBenedetto led 49 laps last week. It was a feel-good story / heartbreak, but let's talk about today. You had a chance in practice, race runs, qualifying. What do you expect?
I don't know. We did a little bit of both, so we kind of found a happy medium. We did race trim for most of the time, did a qualifying run at the end, but there's a lot of unknown for every single race team in this garage, and this track is unique because it's kind of a mixture of worn out enough to where you're going to need some clean air and need your car to handle good in qualifying, so I don't know if there's going to be some games being played at the end of pit road or not. So I'd say Vegas, we'll definitely see that here. It's going to be a lot of learning as we go, so I don't know.
Thanks, Matt. Matt?
A lot of conversation going into practice today. Would we see drafting come qualifying time? Stuart Haas tried it. It didn't pan out. So, Joey, are you going to team up with some of your Team Penske guys or go the Lone Ranger route?
To wait and see. I can't tell you. I don't think any of us really know what's fastest or what's best, and it's probably different for each car. You know, if you have a car that handles good that doesn't go fast, then you kind of, I think your hands are tied and you got to go draft. If you have a car that's can go fast on the straightaway, doesn't handle well, then you want to be by yourself. It's kind of that simple. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. I think it'll be kind of a mixed bag on what you see going on out there. I don't think everyone's going to be waiting at the end of pit road, waiting to the end of practice or into the qualifying session to go out. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. Our car handles good. Our Shell Penzo Ford here definitely handles good. We'll see what it's got for straightaway speed here.
He's had some good speed on the 1.5 miles in the past. In fact, he's sat on the front row 2 of the last 4.
Thanks, Matt. Now here's another kink in the new learning curve. Round 1, where the fastest 24 advance, was 15 minutes last year. This year it is only 10. Round 2, the fastest 12 advance, to round 3, which will determine the first 6 rows in the field.
Something I picked up in Joey Logano's comments there is that these teams now have options that I never really heard them talk about before. Drag, too much drag, straightaway speed versus corner speed. We've always just heard them say, I just have to go through the corners as fast as I possibly can. Well, now they can straighten these cars up. There's a few things that these teams can do try to get the car a little bit lower, do some things to help it get down the straightaway, and maybe give up a little bit of corner speed, or vice versa, have a car that handles really good in the corner and that just doesn't carry the speed down the straightaway.
See, Jeff, one thing about this racetrack, you have a mile of corners and a half mile of straightaways. Straightaways are really short, so this aero package, that big rear spoiler, plant that thing to the track, and you're in the turn so long here, I think it's actually it's an advantage for these guys.
All but about 8 cars have pulled out to line up or go right out on the track, as Austin Dillon has.
Mike, one thing I heard on the scanner this morning, a lot of the crew chiefs are on the drivers about getting their up to speed lap. Don't be lollygagging around here. Come out of the pit and wind that baby up and get after it.
Yeah, and another option is they don't have to run full tape on the grill. We've always seen where that creates the most downforce, least amount of drag. You don't have to do that. You can run 2 laps, and that second lap be your money lap, where I think there's going to be some decisions here. Can we go up high, get off pit road fast, and get it up to speed, run full tape to maximize the amount of grip and least amount of drag to get an overall fast lap in just 1 lap, and not put too much on the tires.
Kevin Harvick, power steering issues. Gave him only 2 laps of practice. They spent the whole rest of the session changing parts and pieces, trying to get that problem out of his number 4 Ford.
He just feathered that throttle just ever so. He didn't get out of it. He just feathered a little bit, but man, he's in it, and I guess they got those power steering issues fixed. Looked like he got around there pretty good.
Austin Dillon, 30.88. Harvick, 31 flat. Suarez, 97. There's the order.
Dillon was quick in the practice. I think he was like 3rd quick in this morning practice, so that car backed that up with a pretty good lap.
Yeah,
car number 3.
Yeah, great to see them backing that up there with Austin Dillon. You know, I thought that he was one of those cars that went early in practice when the track was green and had a lot of grip, but now he's showing he still has the speed.
And Mike, when I watch Kevin Harvick, he may not qualify on the pole. He may not even qualify on the front row. I wouldn't count him out, but it doesn't matter. He's so consistent here. Lap after lap after lap. When he gets into the race, he can just do things that nobody else can do.
Big moment for Joey Logano turning down in the corner in turn 1. That's going to be the trouble spot that these drivers are going to have an issue. They're trying to run wide open through that corner, and when you load into the banking, there's not only a section that upsets the car, you hook that yellow line, that turns the back end out, and then there's also a bump all at the same spot.
Wow, Corey LaJoie up to 2nd for Go Fast Racing. Now 3rd as Eric Almirola's run the fastest lap, but what a lap for LaJoie.
Yeah, no kidding. I think anything in the 30-second bracket right now looks pretty good. Almirola's right here at a 30.83, got a 30.86. 88, 30.96, out in the 30s.
Now this shows you how much grip these cars have right now in this first run. Track temps down and the tires are brand new. You saw Denny Hamlin just keeping it right on the yellow line.
Michael McDowell up in the Fast 5. New sponsor for Ryan Newman.
Now I would be surprised. This guy just seems to know how to sit on, poles here at this track. I mean, that guy just does an amazing job when it comes to qualifying here, and we've seen him on the front row winning poles here.
Let's go back and have a look at Joey Logano.
Yeah, just the car right before he got to the yellow line. Looks like maybe it compressed into the racetrack and it rotated. Matt, you have more?
He told Todd Gordon, I'm going to have to do a do-over. The car just jumped out from underneath me. Great visual there. You could see it down in turns 1 and 2.
Logano right now is 16th of 18. Again, 24 will advance from this round. ComServe, new sponsor for Kurt Busch in the number 1. And he's 4th quick. Fastest car in practice. There it is, Clint Boyer. Jamie?
Well, and talking to Clint earlier, right when he got out of practice, he said the strangest thing about this rules package here is going into the corner and not lifting in a cup car. He is staying flat all the way through the corners. He said, I had to have a little talk with myself because that's just not right, but that's how we drive these things here now.
Wow. Ryan Newman, 2nd now. Bumping will begin here in just a moment. Here comes Boyer, looking pretty green to the stripe. top of the chart. 30.67, 16/100ths quicker than his teammate Almirola, who was second fast in practice.
Mike, that is just not that far off of what we ran here last year. We ran a 30.02. Kyle Busch did for the pole last year, and I mean, we're not that far off.
Riding with Ryan Preece. And let's get an update on Kevin Harvick, currently 12th from Jamie.
Well, Mike, you had mentioned it. He had issues in practice. Second lap out, he realized he had a power steering issue, and he never got back out. Well, he just went out for qualifying, and he said, guys, it feels the exact same issue, that when he tries to steer to the right, when he comes off the corner, it won't turn. So he's on pit road right now trying to wait it out.
Jeff, I wonder if there's something in the suspension that maybe is hanging up somewhere that they haven't found or recognized as they look for the problem, because they've changed the steering box, the lines, the pump. They've changed about everything that's connected to the steering wheel.
I agree, Darrell. They're certainly going to have to look at that because their teammates aren't having an issue. I can't see anything major that has changed in that area of the car since last year.
Larry McReynolds joins us. He's our strategist and rules analyst and all-around tech guy. What's your thoughts on this power steering issue, Larry?
Yeah, I talked extensively with Rodney Childress, the crew chief, and the only thing that they had not changed was the steering box, and they changed it right before qualifying. So, in the words of Rodney, we have changed every component with this power steering. So I'm a little bit like DW. It has to go deeper. I think it has to go somewhere in the front suspension.
Wow. 3:45 to go. 6 cars have not yet made a run. And Joey Logano, you heard, indicated he's going to have a do-over because he is just below the cut line.
And Mike, that's bad news for Logano, because the last thing you want to do is put extra laps on these tires. The fall-off is incredibly, they just fall off a lot. And extra lap's going to just be that much worse for him.
Kyle Larson on his second lap goes to 4th. He is the fastest of those that have run more than one lap.
Yeah, Chip Ganassi Racing ought to be pretty happy right now. Kurt Busch in the 6th position, Larson in the 4th.
That's a big turnaround from Daytona for that 42 car. He just never really got it going down there. He did get up near the front near the end of the race, but he struggled mightily at Daytona.
Rim Riders riding along with Ross Chastain in the number 15. The only driver in Atlanta doing as he did in Daytona, running in all 3 of NASCAR's National Series this weekend.
What was impressive about Ross? He finished every lap in all 3 races.
That's right.
And that was an incredible effort on his part. Well, we know he's a heck of a good wheel man.
Ooh, doggy.
And there's where he finished in those 3 races. Top 10 in the 500, top 3 in the trucks.
Nice job, fellas. Nice job, Ross.
So, and then there were 3.
Good job up there, Chad Jr. Yeah, I got you.
Chad Jr. You know who he's talking about. Chad Canals. I like that.
Yeah, this is something I was talking about earlier about getting the car wound up. You talked, Darrell, about getting up to speed. You see Bubba Wallace, he runs that very top line of 3 and 4, just trying to get as much momentum, make the track as long as possible, so when he gets his start-finish line, you can hear a little blip in the throttle right there as he gets off the yellow line through 1 and 2. But you only want to have to make 1 lap if it's at all possible to advance.
Well, if it comes to no fear, Bubba Wallace is your man. And I think that qualifying, trying to run around here wide open, that takes a little bit of no fear.
And giving us a great view from that visor camera.
'27 for Bubba, 31.19. And Matt Tifft is on track, and here comes Logano. Daniel Hemrick. The Alsco Chevy for Richard Childress Racing. I think we'll be able to tell him apart from Austin Dillon this week.
Thank goodness. We're not seeing double or triple or whatever it was we saw in Daytona.
But they've got a number of promotions planned this year for that 50th anniversary. Great celebration for RTR.
I really expect great things out of this kid. He is a great kid, a good driver. Expect a lot of good things for him this year.
All right, we're going to change our tracker to the bubble position. Right now it's Ryan Preece, the rookie.
Logano just cannot afford to have another issue. See him hooking the yellow line down there. I don't know. You know, that 1 lap that he put on those tires, or at least the 1 big corner that he had, definitely not going to help him out any.
27th for Hemrick.
We see another on our ticker there. Jones also didn't have a good first lap, but he seems to be making gains.
Chris Buescher on the right. Logano does not make it. 26th. 30th for Buescher, but here comes Eric Jones in that DeWalt Toyota. Looks like he'll make the top 24.
Mike, just like last week, came out of nowhere. Finished third in the Daytona 500.
We're good. We're good here. Just that lap.
All right, Jones up to 6th. DiBenedetto on track.
Tracking in the green.
And Preece improved. He's back to 24th. Here's DiBenedetto. And this will do it. And DiBenedetto, we are told, did not make the line in time.
Oh, no.
That's a shame because
that's a great
he
lap.
had the lap time.
He's 22nd. We'll double check with NASCAR. But the preliminary indication is that the red and black flags were waving before he got to the line to start his lap.
Darn.
We'll double check that as Clint Boyer and Eric Almirola back up their practice times. Boyer, fastest, round 1.
Down south, Atlanta Motor Speedway is where names are made, like Fireball or Awesomeville.
And here it comes.
Hometown phenom Chase Elliott has to beat the best on the fast track if they're going to sound the siren in Dawsonville.
Can you believe this?
Bolts of Honor Quiktrip 500, Sunday on Fox.
You could take the treatment of your ulcerative colitis in a different direction. Talk to your doctor about Xeljanz, a pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis. Xeljanz is the first and only FDA-approved pill for moderate to severe UC. It can reduce symptoms in as early as 2 weeks, improve the appearance of the intestinal lining, and provide lasting steroid-free remission. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have tears in the stomach or intestines, serious allergic reactions, low blood cell counts, higher liver tests, and cholesterol levels. Don't start Xeljanz if you have an infection. Your doctor should perform blood tests before and while taking Xeljanz and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you've been somewhere fungal infections are common and if you've had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. You could take your UC treatment in a different direction. Ask your gastroenterologist about Xeljanz.
Today's Best Western? What does that mean?
Today's Best Western? Over 4,200 hotels worldwide and a variety of hotel brands. It's vibrant, a feel of home, and a friendly hello. All with a refined glow. And with rewards points that never expire, you get free nights fast.
Wow.
Now stay 2 separate times and get a free night. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Daniel's wish is that Dad didn't work so far away. Dad did more than just wish. Upload your resume on Indeed.
Don't worry about the smoke damage. I can help.
What'd you do to your kitchen?
What did you do to my kitchen?
I ain't do nothing. But that's not me.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I've been really trying, trying to hold back this feeling for so long.
Lift away itch, flakes, and doubt. Stay headstrong with Head & Shoulders.
Free, free, free.
Free.
Free. That's right. TurboTax Free is free. Free, 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 free.
40 drivers, 3 months of anticipation.
We gotta live with each other for 36 weekends.
Get out of my box, all right? Tough guy.
So here are positions 25 to 37, and here's what happened. Ryan Preece went out, ran 2 laps the end of the session. The first lap bumped him into the top 24. Matt DiBenedetto's lap was good. He did start his lap before the red and black flags. That bumped Preece out, and even though Preece's second lap was quick enough, he did not make the flag in time. So Preece will line up 25th. David Reagan makes it into the top 24. Matt?
Mike, the good and the bad for Joey Logano. The bad moment, you saw the car step out down in turns 1 and 2. The good, you saved it, but then you had to go make a do-over, and here it's just a killer when you have extra laps on your tires.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that was necessarily the case. Yeah, we got loose down there, and just trying to draft, thinking I was going to be the fastest way, and so that was a tough part. And then we made some adjustments to our car to go back out, and you tried being by myself as well, and just didn't pick up speed. And I was going to run 2, and out of habit, I shut it off, because that's what we do, is run 1 lap typically, but it seems like 2 laps, who knows, may have been a little bit quicker, who knows, but that was my bad. But, overall, I don't know how much better we would have been, but the car's handling now, which is good, and it's going to have to, because we're going to have to pass some cars now.
All right, thanks, Joey. Mike?
Thanks, Matt. Now, how close was it to advance? Let's show you the difference between David Reagan in the 38, who advances. He'll be the green line on the track, and Ryan Preece will be the black line on the track. And at the end of this lap, 2 1/1000ths of a second will separate them.
And this is the coolest thing I think we've ever done. I love this. You can see where they gain, where they lose, who's got the straightaway speed, who's got the corner speed. It just really, really defines what these drivers are doing.
It shows how drivers drive into the corner, where they lose speed in the center of the corner, who gets back to the throttle or can maintain the momentum in the different lines. I agree, Darryl. I love this shot.
And that's what 2 1/1000ths of a second looks like.
Not much.
New sponsor for David Reagan, FireAid, an Atlanta-based company. And we're getting set for round 2. Larry, I know you spent the first practice session in the garage area. As we look at Kevin Harvick, and the rest of the car is about ready to roll out here. And the track is open.
And what you've got to do here, Mike, is you've got to make adjustments based on what your car did in round 1. But the other thing you have to do is keep up with the laps on the tires, because that's going to make the car drive different. I think about Kyle Larson and Eric Jones. They have 2 laps on their tires versus everyone else with just 1. So they have to be somewhat aggressive in keeping up with these tires as far as the adjustments they make.
10 minutes, half of this group, 12 cars will advance.
Yeah, you see that 3 car of Austin Dillon right up around the top to come and get the green, get that momentum up, get a lot of speed coming to the line here. That's what some of the crew chiefs were complaining about this morning. These guys have learned their lesson.
Look at that big, tall spoiler. The standard metal spoiler, sandwiched in front of that is a polycarbonate spoiler that extends even higher. They didn't want to make that all out of metal to block the driver's rearward view.
Possibly run 2, I'll let you know.
But boy, that makes a big hole in the air for traffic following.
It should. I mean, it should be able to really draft up on the car in front of you with a blade that big. It should knock a big hole in the air.
Talking back to his crew chief about, felt pretty good about that lap.
Well, it's an 84. In session 1, he ran an 88. So yes,
not bad.
I'd be very happy with that lap.
I think I'd set on that one.
Well, so far, Austin Dillon is the only driver to better his first round time.
We saw Kevin Harvick going to try to maybe make a second lap, and he got up off the corner, had to get out of the throttle, so he's going to have to settle for just 1 lap and see if it's good enough. 30.99 right now in second.
Dude, these Dillon boys come to play, though. You got one on first and 1 third. I think Ty finished, 6th last week at Daytona, 7th. Had a great Daytona. See those sparks flying. I heard a lot of drivers complain about the cars bombing out, and we see a little sparks out of several of them.
Brad Keselowski, the only one of those Penske cars to find much speed.
Kurt Busch was one of those cars, ran 2 laps, picked up about 4 or 5 tenths on that second lap.
Kurt now second fastest. Ryan Newman, Acorns. It's a savings plan. You know, from little acorns, big trees will grow. There you go.
I was so anxious to see what Ryan Newman would do behind the wheel of the 6 car, and this would be a good test because he's been on the front row here, I believe, the last 2 races. And what did he do in round 1? Qualified, or was in the top 3, so pretty impressive, and obviously shows how much he likes this racetrack.
A little side by side there, Matt Tifft and Martin Truex. How's that going to work out?
Not too good. No. I don't think so. I think the guys figured out that maybe that's not as much help as they thought it was going to be.
Well, if he could get a tow right here, it'd be good, but then he needs that 34 car to bail off, and that's just not going to work.
Yeah. I just don't like the distraction. When I went to qualify, I don't want anybody in my way, around me, or anywhere else. I like to have the track to myself.
And you heard Joey Logano talk in that interview that he tried that the first time out, and that did not work for him.
I will say, though, that Truex has kind of timed that out pretty nicely. Got a nice toe down the back straightaway. We'll see if it pays off or not.
12 to advance. Corey LaJoie now on the bubble. Bumping will begin.
I will say, Truex was able to put a decent lap that I think will get him to round 2. Bowyer back to the top.
Bowyer, Suarez, McDonald.
I'm just surprised. I don't know about you guys. It surprised me how fast these cars are. I did not expect to see these cars run in the 30s. And the 37 for Bowyer, the fastest car so far, that is only a few tenths off of last year.
Now, Bowyer was a little slower than he was in round 1. Suarez 2 tenths faster than in round 1. Hamlin on your left, Elliott on your right. Ty Dillon in the bump spot at 31.04. And Bowman bumps Dillon.
You can hear the throttle on Denny Hamlin. There's no movement. He's wide open through those corners.
Hamlin bumps Keselowski.
Yeah, a lot of that difference in the sound was just going through some of the bumps on the track. Whoa.
William Byron's going to play 2.
A lot of guys might thought 2 laps. The first lap, the second lap would be quicker to get these engines wound up a little bit, and they might be right.
Byron bumps Kevin Harvick. Denny Hamlin jumps up to 5th on his second lap. 30.97 is the time to beat. And we'll switch our tracker in the lower right of your screen to the bubble, which right now is William Byron.
And Larson backing up his round 1. Nice lap with another good lap here.
Larson 4th. And that will bump Byron, his teammate Bowman, now in the 12th spot.
I think Jeff mentioned at the opening of the show how close this was going to be. This is incredibly close. We're talking just a few hundreds of being in or out.
Quarter of a second from 1st to 12th. Alex Bowman, 30.95. Clint Bowyer, 30.71 at the top of the chart.
I think this is a guy you got to keep an eye on this year, Mike. I'm rolling that 10 car. They end this season strong, finish 5th in points.
Green light.
Jimmy Johnson, I think he's got a lot to prove.
Ooh, Lotta. Johnson got loose, dragging something back there.
Hey, Jeff, 7-time champion with 83 wins. Got a lot to prove.
Almirola to 3rd. Half a tenth faster than round 1. That bumps Bowman. Paul Menard is on the bubble.
Yeah, you can tell, I think more than ever with this aerodynamic package, just how rough this racetrack is. You see a lot of sparks and the car's really moving around a lot in the back.
Yeah, heard it.
30.92.
Heard that in Hamlin's car. That engine change was just the car going through some of the bumps. Saw the in-car camera. He's had a pretty rough ride in that car.
The bubble is Paul Menard at 30.90. 30.9. Eric Jones is going to run a second lap, and he needs to find a tenth of a second.
Well, Larry already mentioned he already had to make a second run in round 1, so he has more laps on his tires than just about anybody here in this round.
I was just so impressed with the job Chris Gale, his crew chief, they did to get him back in the race. Fuel pressure problem, got lapped down, got it all back, finished 3rd.
Jamie.
Guys, Jimmy Johnson, 14th right now, went out, turned one lap, and he did the same thing that Joey Logano said. I turned it off. Guys, I'm so sorry. I forgot I turned it off. Kevin Mendering, his crew chief, said, it's all right. We have time. They're going to try to cool it off and see if they can get one more lap for the 48.
Well, he and Jones are tied at 30.92, and they're both just outside the bubble spot. Here's Ricky Stenhouse. Paul Menard, 30.908 is the time to beat. And move Jimmy Johnson above Eric Jones based on points.
Just saw something with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. we've not seen yet. He actually ran the high line through turns 1 and 2 and the middle line through turns 3 and 4. Obviously, tires starting to fall off for Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Well, there was some conversation I heard amongst these guys this morning about whether to run the bottom or the top. But I don't think guys realize that the cars are going to be this fast. I really don't.
Now, it may have been just Stenhouse trying to not use too much of the tires, but get that car wound up, get that car up to speed, because, look, he's in the green now and running further on the bottom of the racetrack on this final lap.
Trying to bump out Paul Menard.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
Yes, 6th for Stenhouse. And that moves Ryan Newman all the way to 12th at 30.906. With a minute and a half to go.
And I think that's going to get a lot of attention on pit road for these drivers that are sitting there looking at round 3. What's the strategy? How are we going to get the most out of the tires, the speed out of the car, at the line? Which lap is it going to come in? Ricky Stenhouse Jr. did a fantastic job showing, I think, how to get it, really maximize it for that second lap.
Yeah, I think you run high at 1 and 2. You don't get that bump down in the middle of 1 and 2, upset the car, run a little high there, and then run low in 3 and 4. Might be the hot tip.
All right. Alex Bowman coming out. So is Chase Elliott. On track is Paul Menard. And all they need to do is make it to the flag stand before that clock in the upper left gets to 0. And their lap will count.
See what Menard does here. See if he runs a high line in 1 and 2. Yeah, see that? I think that's the tip, Jeff. Get up high like this in 1 and 2. Now see if he drops to the bottom in 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are much smoother, and you miss some of the bumps in 1 and 2 if you're up a little higher. So it might be the hot tip.
He only needs 2 1,000ths of a second to advance.
And I think this is what you're going to see. He's going to do this lap 1, and then you're going to see him move lower on the racetrack now that he's completely up to speed to try to shortcut those corners if the car will stick on this second lap. There he goes down to the bottom.
Got a little loose, but like getting in, though. Got a little loose getting off.
I mean, he went to the green, to the center of the corner, and you can see he lost momentum on the exit. The problem I see with these cars that came off pit road late, they could get to the line for 1 lap, but if you're wanting to make a second lap, it's just not going to happen.
Jimmy Johnson, maybe.
Yes.
Right on the money.
30.88. Johnson bests Ryan Newman by 2 100ths.
That is a great effort
and
right
only
there.
about 1.5 tenths all the way up to first, from first to 12th. Never seen that at Atlanta before.
Guys, he made the draft work right there. No question.
If you don't want to get hurt, don't get in it.
NHRA Arizona Nationals, Phoenix, Sunday, 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Narrow spans. He's doing things that not your normal fighter does. Mikey Garcia, he fought fast. The kid is up to great things.
Both these fighters are undefeated. They're both risking everything. It's time for the main event.
I was thrilled to be able to go with my friends to our annual get-together, especially after being diagnosed last year with advanced non-small cell lung cancer.
Another true story with Keytruda.
I started Katie on Keytruda in chemotherapy, and she's getting results we rarely saw 5 years ago.
In a clinical trial, significantly more patients lived longer and saw their tumors shrink than on chemotherapy alone.
It's changed my approach to treating patients.
Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment if you have advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer and you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Keytruda helps your immune system fight cancer, but can also cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body. This can happen during or after treatment and may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have new or worse cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, nausea or vomiting, rapid heartbeat, increased hunger or thirst, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in urine or eyesight, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, confusion or memory problems, fever, rash, itching, or flushing. These are not all the possible side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, if you've had an organ transplant, had or plan to have a stem cell transplant, or have lung, breathing, or liver problems.
Where I am now compared to a year ago, it's a story worth sharing.
Living longer is possible. It's true. Keytruda from Merck, with more FDA-approved uses for advanced lung cancer than any other immunotherapy.
40 drivers, 3 months of anticipation.
Everybody's in brand new fire suits. Everybody's in brand new paint schemes.
Pit crews getting back into race mode. In the race shop, we're building new cars.
Let's go racing, drivers!
We got to live with each other for 36 weekends.
Get out of my box.
People are going to get pissed off.
There's a lot of crazy maneuvers that guys will do.
Look at that 9 bar.
We live for those intense situations.
Second place is just the first loser.
If you're a guy over 40, take it from me, Frank Thomas. Nugenics will help you feel like the man you used to be.
Right, like that stuff actually works.
Hey, buddy, up here. The key ingredient in Nugenics is clinically researched to totally work. That's why Nugenics is the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Hey, buddy, check it out. My workout's a lot better. I'm feeling stronger and more energetic with a lot more drive. I'm back to being the big hurt. You still don't believe me? Just send a text. Get a complimentary bottle. Come on. You're stuck in park right now. That's right. Time to shift into drive again. And trust me, she'll like the difference too. Hey guys, it's time to start your engine.
To get your complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, text CHARM to 369-369. Samples are not available in stores, so text CHARM to 369-369.
Welcome back to Cup qualifying on FS1 from Atlanta. 2 rounds complete. Clint Boyer has led them both. Here are the drivers who will start 13th through 24th. Ryan Newman just missed it. Kevin Harvick, last year's winner, back there in 18th. Jamie.
And Kevin Harvick, we talked about the issues he had with power steering in practice, and it seemed like it continued here in qualifying. What exactly were you feeling out of that car?
You can't drive the car straight. It won't turn right. So you try to just kind of aim your way into the corner, and you can't make any corrections with the car because it won't go to the right. So our Busch Beer Ford Mustang is a little bit of a handful right now, and we don't really know what to change to make it different. So if we had to race right now, we'd be in the garage and headed home. So it's been a tough day. They've changed everything on the car, and nothing has fixed it. So we haven't learned anything and don't know anything to head in a different direction right now. So we'll just have to work on it tonight.
Thanks, Kevin.
Wow.
Boy, something you rarely hear out of Kevin Harvick, especially at one of his best tracks here at Atlanta.
Michael McDowell in the Freight Auctions Ford, another Atlanta-based company, 4th quickest in round 2. Wow, 9th in the first round, 4th in the second round.
And Mike, he was right in the hunt at Daytona last week.
And Daniel Suarez picked up 23 100ths. That's a quarter of a second from round 1 to round 2. So let's show you in round 2 from Clint Boyer in first to the first car to be bumped, Ryan Newman in the number 6 in 13th. Here's what a quarter second looks like.
And you can see Boyer came to the green quite a bit faster than Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman holds his own through the corner, actually gains on Boyer down the back straightaway. Look at this unique line that Boyer runs down the back straightaway, just making the track as short as possible, run that low line.
And what's kind of interesting about that low line, Mike, your corner entry's a little tighter, but it didn't seem to hurt that 14 car at all. He got right in there nice and picked up speed, actually.
And there's the difference, quarter of a second. Clint Boyer won practice. He won the first 2 rounds. Now we go to round 3. His last pole, New Hampshire, September 2007, 406 starts ago. Your brother, Darrell, has the record, 456 starts between poles. Here are the last times that drivers have swept all 3 rounds of qualifying.
And I just look back to 2 years ago. What a difference for Clint Boyer. He came here and missed round 1. Didn't even make it past round 1 to round 2 and round 3.
Pretty sure if you went down and asked him right now how he likes this new package, he loves it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
You're going to have some guys that don't like it and some guys that really like it.
Hey, look at that.
Whoa!
Look at that.
Yikes.
Down pit road.
I don't know if Austin Dillon was trying to block Boyer because he wanted to be first one, but I believe that's what that was.
He didn't want that 14 to be the first one out.
Well, there is no out of bounds.
Well, there is a blocking thing, though.
Everybody's in a hurry.
That's when your spotter said, okay, we got one coming low, coming low.
On pit road. That's amazing. Wasn't going to make it easy for him.
So now what this has turned into is the 3 cars actually a few car lengths back from Clint Boyer is going to try to draft off the back of Clint Boyer. He actually ran a little bit higher in that lane, or through 1 and 2 there.
I kind of like this situation, though, with the 3. He's actually getting a little bit of draft off that 14 car.
And Larry brought it up in the at the end there when Jimmy Johnson, that last round, when he made it through, he was actually drafting off the car in front of him. So you know these guys were paying attention to that. Is Austin Dillon thinking, hey, that's fine. I can draft off of what I believe is the fastest car out here.
Well, it is. It's back to the top of the board again. Boyer 30.73, right on top of what he's been running. He run a 77 to 71 to 73. Those are 3 great runs.
But Austin Dillon is in the green in this run for the pole, sniffing a bit of a draft off of Clint Boyer.
Oh, it didn't work out for him, though, right there. He got a little bit high in 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, had to check up.
Suarez, Kyle Busch.
I think, Mike, there is a distance back that you could get a little help as long as you get that car in front of you. You don't want to run up on him like we see here because that's the end of their laps. But if you can get a little draft down the back, I think it might help a teeny bit.
Absolutely.
Now, Kurt Busch, very consistent. 30.83 in round 2, 30.83 in this round. And Michael McDowell, 30.91.
No matter what happens in this qualifying session, that's a heck of an effort by that 34 bunch right there. Michael McDowell had a great Daytona finish and comes in here and backs it up with a pretty darn good qualifying run.
Six out of 12 have posted times in this final round. Led by Clint Boyer. Here comes Martin Truex and Denny Hamlin. Now, is Hamlin close enough to sniff the draft or not?
I mean, to me, this is actually a pretty good position to be in because you want to be just far enough back to where you get a little bit of that draft down the straightaway like Darrell was talking about, but not so close to where it disrupts the downforce of the car in the corner.
Yeah, I like right where Hamlin is. That's a good spot to be in. You see him, he's really closing fast on the 19. This could pay off.
Right here, if he could just get up behind him and draft off him, he might gain back what he lost. Nope, not quite enough.
The stopwatch didn't know it.
Well, that's what they saw in practice. What little guys tried to draft off other people, it actually hurt them. And that was surprising. We didn't expect that.
Got some cars in the green, though. No, he's not done yet. It's not over. That was just lap 1. If Hamlin can just stay right here on the rear bumper.
Falling back.
He did a nice job. Oh. No, it's going to come back, I believe. Oh, not enough, though.
Second for Hamlin.
Close.
Almirola.
Oh, Almirola to the top. Look at that time.
I was going to say, the only one that I think can beat Boyer is his teammate, Almirola.
But look at that time, a 30.55. I mean, that's only 5/10 off of what we were here last year.
Where did that come from?
That boy.
Stenhouse.
And Stenhouse up to second.
He figured something out. He figured something out that really gave him a big run to the line for his second and fastest lap.
What a front row. Almirola and Stenhouse on the front row. That's pretty incredible.
3 Fords at the front of the field. Almirola, Stenhouse, and Boyer, who was denied the pole. Hamlin is the fastest Toyota in 4th, and Kyle Larson is the fastest Chevrolet in 7th.
But his teammate, one thing about Larson, he's got his Kurt Busch as his teammate. They're right there together, an 82 to an 83, so those cars are pretty equally matched.
First pole for Almirola since the World 600, the Coke 600 at Charlotte 2012. 234 starts in between. First pole this year and his first ever at Atlanta. Eric Almirola is Sunday's pole sitter.
As a fitness junkie, I customize everything. Bike, wheels, saddle. That's why I switched to Liberty Mutual. They customize my insurance so I only pay for what I need. I insured my car and my bike. My calves are custom too, but I can't insure those. Which is a crying shame.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Look, isn't that Frank Thomas?
Oh, the big hurt.
More like the big hunk. Wow, Frank Thomas.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. You look like you could still be playing. That's what I said.
Well, I am feeling stronger and leaner. So, Frank, what's your secret? I discovered Nugenics.
I wish my husband did.
It's easy. Just send a text.
If you're a guy over 40, text 42424 and enter the word WORK to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenics is a unique man-boosting formula powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help boost your free testosterone levels, to help you feel stronger, leaner, with more energy and drive, more passion, too.
Here, try a bottle. And trust me, she'll like it, too.
Text 42424 and enter WORK to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenics. Samples are not available in stores, so text 42424 and enter WORK.
Well, the city of Atlanta is known for having a very competitive Friday afternoon rush hour. Not quite like this on I-75-85. Clint Boyer goes almost all the way down to the wall to get out first in front of Austin Dillon.
See the tracks that Boyer laid, accelerating, trying to get by that number 3 of Austin Dillon.
Matt?
Mike, literally a battle off pit road. What happened between yourself and Boyer?
The 14 left early. We got yelled, or like warned that we were leaving early the last run, so I waited till I heard 0, and then I left. And you can see in the video, he pulls out from us. And unless my spotter told me wrong in time, but I don't think he did. He was just making sure it got to 0. But he's already car linked out on the pit road. So, I think it's all right. He didn't get the pole. Congratulations, Eric. That was a good lap. And we'll race on Sunday. I feel like the Dow Chevy's fast, and we were one of the only cars that had 1 lap on our tires, us in the 14. So we felt like we had a good shot at it. Just a little too tight, though, in traffic and air behind him.
Thanks. Jamie?
Well, Clint Boyer was fastest in practice, and then the first couple of rounds here. Right at the end, though, a couple of them got you. But first off, we just heard from Austin Dillon. What did you see happen?
He just didn't go. A moment. I mean, that's a box you're in with whatever this is. You got. I mean, that's how we got. I mean, we had the fastest car, and the 10 they did a better job of formulating a plan to beat us, and sacrificed their first lap. And you saw what the momentum does. It's important, you know what I mean? I was surprised when he didn't go. I'm like, damn, kid, I got to go. And, I knew that was going to be my opportunity to try to better my lap if so. And we run close. It was from a 67, a 71, and a 73. I mean, you can't get much closer than that. Speed's definitely in our car. I was proud of Mike and all the guys on our Haas Automation Ford. You got to eat a little bit of crow. Obviously, you don't want to do that to anybody. But like I said, I mean, that could have been had they not have come up with a different strategy to set on the pole, that would have been it. I mean, our car was fast enough to do that, and a couple of them, like I said, got some better momentum and formulated a better plan. I guess if there is something exciting about this, that's going to be what it is you're going to have to outfox the next guy, and got outfoxed today.
All right, the 14 will roll off third. Mike?
It is a pole for Stewart Haas Racing, however, with Eric Almirola. Let's talk to Jay Fabian, the Cup Series director. Let's take a look. You see the 3 and the 14.
You can see that NASCAR official, or maybe it's a team official saying, go ahead and go. So I don't know if the 3 just took off late or the 14 took off a little early. He certainly had the momentum and the gas pedal down when he did accelerate.
You saw the tires spinning back up there. He certainly had the urgency. Ford's on the front row. Eric Almirola and Ricky Stenhouse. Stuart Haas and Roush Fenway Racing to share the front row. Matt?
Eric Almirola will take the biggest headline of the day, and that's his second career pole. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that was awesome. Obviously, the Ford Mustangs are really fast, so it was cool to be the first guy to get Ford Mustang on the pole, and our Smithfield car was really fast. All the guys, Johnny, everybody did a great job. We came here with a plan, and we executed our plan right from off the truck. Cars had great speed. That's, a hell of a tribute back to all the guys and girls back at the shop at Stuart Haas Racing. We're running wide open now, so it's getting more and more about the car and qualifying, and the guys did a great job.
Impressive execution round to round. Did you see a trend there?
Yeah, we just kind of went into it with the mindset that we wanted to be nice to our tires. We felt like we could go faster on our second lap, and we knew that there was some games being played at the end of pit road, but we tried to make sure that we got clean laps and didn't get too bottled up on the exit of pit road, and we knew that final round that the second lap was going to be good, and we were able to be fast enough in those first 2 rounds to get it done in lap 1, and I think that really paid off in the final round.
Congratulations. 10 cars on the pole. Jamie?
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 17 on the front row. So things kind of changed for you in the way that you had to drive from the first round to the third. How did it change?
Yeah, our Little Hug Fruit Barrels Ford was really, really loose the first run. I mean, I wasn't even able to hold it wide open all the way around. So I knew that if we could get some adjustments made and make the next round, that I felt like we had some more speed in our cars. So, Brian, Angela, Randy, all the guys made a ton of adjustments. That's the most adjustments I think we've ever made in qualifying. So that's the cool thing about the way this package is. If you can get your car to handle a certain way and hold the gas down a little bit longer than other people, then you should be good. So it's cool that four of the top 5 are Mustangs. So good start for the Mustangs this weekend as well.
What will we see on Sunday? Do we know yet, or are you waiting for practice tomorrow to figure all that out?
I don't think we know. There was 20 cars that drafted in Vegas. I was not a part of that test, so this was the kind of first weekend to run it. But, Atlanta never has a bad race. So with this package and this style of racing, I feel like Atlanta's going to be probably one of the most exciting Atlantas we've had in a long time. I know Kevin's really, really good here, and sometimes kind of, just leads the most laps and runs away with it. But I think with this package, it's going to bring the top of the racetrack, middle, bottom. I think you're going to have cars spread out all over the place, and I think we're going to learn a lot more tomorrow. I think people will get in the draft, get behind each other. But Sunday is going to be exciting.
I think you smiled the whole interview. You're excited for Sunday.
Fun. I'm ready.
Well, he'll roll off from the outside pole next to Eric Almirola. Second career pole for Eric. He gets to celebrate tonight in Atlanta.
Down south, Atlanta Motor Speedway is where names are made, like Fireball or Awesome Bill.
And here it comes.
Hometown phenom Chase Elliott has to beat the best on the fast track if they're going to sound the siren in Dawsonville.
Can you believe this?
Folds of Honor Quiktrip 500, Sunday on Fox.
This is your wake-up call. If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, month after month, the clock is ticking on irreversible joint damage. Ongoing pain and stiffness are signs of joint erosion. Humira can help stop the clock. Prescribed for 15 years, Humira targets and blocks a source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Help stop the clock on further irreversible joint damage. Talk to your rheumatologist. Right here, right now. Humira.
Oh my God, Becky, look at that crust.
Pizza Hut, we're the ultimate cheesy crust, with 16 pockets overflowing with melted cheese.
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. When your flight gets in late, it's never too early for coffee. Oh, no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Who is that ready this early? It's only 7 a.m. Somebody help me. Close call. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast and a warm welcome. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
Are you wearing my jersey?
What? No. Cole Perez 3.
And what's the 3 stand for?
I'm a triple threat. I help with home, auto, and this knee tells me when it's gonna rain outside. Don't worry, I put the top up on your car.
Well, a fun conversation there among 3 of the stars of the sport. Probably has nothing to do with racing, but that's okay. Let's take a look at our top 3 cars from this final round. Almirola's 10, Stenhouse in the 17, Boyer in the 14.
You can already see the 10 of Almirola, even Stenhouse, they carried more speed to the start-finish line, which just continues to build that or carry that momentum for the entire run and build that gap that you see that went back from the 10 of Almirola back to Boyer in third.
Yeah, Almirola, he's just a little bit quicker all the way around. He starts to inch away from these 2 cars behind him, and he really gets a nice runoff turn forward to the line.
And I just think all that was built off of that higher line, carrying that momentum to the start-finish line to start that final lap.
Second decided by 3 1/1000ths of a second. Jamie?
Jimmy Johnson made it to the final round, and it was kind of interesting. Old habits die hard, right? You did 1 lap and shut it off. How did you come back and rebound and find the speed to make it?
Yeah, that was in round 2. Just in such a habit of shutting it off, especially this track. And our plan was to run 2, so we had to come in and cool down and go back out, and thankfully advance to the 3rd round. I made sure to run 2 in the 3rd round. I didn't make that mistake again. But really proud of Kevin and the guys. The Ally Chevy is really competitive and driving well. And I think each outing we just learn more and can make a difference right now because everything is so new for our team and really for all the teams out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
One of 4 Chevrolets in the final round. Johnson will roll off 11th on Sunday.
Is crispy applewood smoked bacon the best thing to ever happen to the Big Mac or what?
No, the Big Mac is clearly the best thing to ever happen to bacon.
Yeah, well, bacon is done just fine without the Big Mac.
Without the Big Mac, would bacon even exist, Steve?
Yeah, it would exist. Oh, it's like that?
McDonald's Classics with bacon, only for limited time. Is it the best thing to happen to our classics or to bacon? Try for yourself and decide.
Free, 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 free. Free, free, free. Free, 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 free.
Free.
Free. That's right. TurboTax Free is free. Free, 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 free.
Here comes the rain.
What's that girl? Flo needs help? Take me to her! We're coming, Flo! Why aren't we taking roads? Flo!
Oh, you made it. Do you have change for $1?
This was the emergency? Yes, I was busy.
24-hour roadside assistance from America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
You know, I think you're my best friend. You don't have to say I'm your best friend. That's okay.
Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month at Cricket.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone's having a good hair day. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Run with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor because changing your attachments should be as easy as
What about this?
changing your plans.
Yeah.
Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Sunday in Atlanta, the Quiktrip Folds of Honor 500, second race for 2019. Here's a former pole sitter here in Atlanta.
1995, baby. Woo!
Your 59th and final career pole. Was that Illumina? Was that Monte Carlo?
Oh, the Monte Carlo.
Okay.
A fast Monte Carlo.
Oh, if you didn't have a Monte Carlo in 1995, you weren't going to win much.
That's true. Well, it's Fords at the front. Almirola, Stenhouse, and Boyer. Denny Hamlin, the quickest Toyota. Suarez and Busch. Kyle Larson, the quickest Chevrolet, with his teammate Kurt Busch.
That's a heck of a lineup we got going here, Mike. I mean, all these guys up front, Truex, look at Austin Dillon, our buddy over McDowell. I mean, some great runs. You got the Benedetto over here.
And we're told Harvick has now changed 2 steering boxes and 2 power steering pumps.
But I agree with what Ricky Stenhouse Jr. said. It's going to be fun to see if Kevin Harvick can work his way towards the front and if he'll run that Harvick line on the bottom.
Let's hear from the driver who will roll off 5th on Sunday. Matt?
Mustangs certainly running wild here in Atlanta. Stellar effort by Daniel Suarez and the 41 guys. How would you sum up your entire day, you and this team?
Well, the guys did an amazing job. The car is fast, and when you have fast cars, it really makes you look good. So just feel very proud to be part of Suarez Racing Ford Performance, the 41 Ford Mustang Aries. It was pretty strong today. We have had pretty good speed pretty much all day long, just moving things a little bit here, a little bit there, but the speed has been there. So pretty happy with the balance of the car. We didn't touch the car in all 3 rounds. So hopefully we can play a little bit more long runs for tomorrow and see what we got for Sunday.
Continuing to build on the notebook, but also continuing to gel as a team.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we are just starting. We are just getting to know each other more and getting to work together and understanding. I hope Billy can understand my English by now. So I guess we're moving in the right direction.
All right, good run. Daniel Suarez will roll off 5th on Sunday.
Pretty good day all around for Stewart Haas, but for Kevin Harvick, who will start 18th as Eric Almirola continues to celebrate.
It's the biggest game in the Big East. Marcus Howard and the 11th ranked Golden Eagles are on the hunt for the Big East crown. But Phil Booth and number 17 Villanova stand in their way. Marquette, Villanova, Wednesday at 9 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
You realize your vows are a Whitesnake song?
I do. If you ride, you get it. Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
For a special occasion, I stay ready because destiny impatient. Changes. If you talking fire, then we speak the same language.
Oh my God, Becky, look at that crust!
At Pizza Hut, we're the ultimate cheesy crust, with 16 pockets overflowing with melted cheese.
Gear up during the Spring Fishing Classic at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's with huge savings on the latest gear, like Booyah spinnerbaits for under $2. And save 50% on this Pro Qualifier 2.0 limited edition baitcast reel.
A terrific tribute.
Things change, but the racing,
big craft turn 30,
that never changes. NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series.
You know that expensive watch you always wanted? It only cost a fraction of the price to make.
We thought that was crazy, so we made our own watch company.
We created unique watch designs, launched online at fair prices, developed new styles, shipped to over 160 countries around the world, and created a community. Now, you don't have to overpay for a nice watch.
Instead, join the movement.
Shop now at mvmt.com.
Selling your house is hard. From prep to open houses to hoping for offers. But what if you could sell your house in just a few days with no hassle? Now you can with Simple Sale from Homelight. Just answer a few quick questions about your house. We'll collect offers from our network of cash buyers and introduce you to the highest bidder. Now, selling is simple. To see your simple sale price, go to homelight.com/simple today.
So I guess the good thing about being on this list is eventually you did win another poll. Jeff, only 47, your longest streak without a poll. Darrell, 112 races between polls. But the good thing is you got another one.
That's right. Well, I got 59, and how many did you say you had?
81.
81. Oh, he gets me every time.
Who's talking numbers?
Will anybody surprise you today?
Well, I mean, Amarola, we saw he broke that streak. That was pretty impressive, and I didn't know if anybody could beat Boyer. Boyer looked like he had control of it, but what I loved what we heard is him saying that he got outfoxed. Those guys ran that higher line, saved their tires, had the momentum, and got the faster run at the end.
Forge is strong again. I mean, you know, Amarola on the post, Stenhouse up there with him. That's a surprise to me, but it's going to be fun to watch Kevin Harvick come from 18th.
Yeah.
I want to see if he can get up there and dominate this race like he has in the past.
And Ricky Stenhouse, 3 top 6 starts at Atlanta in a row. Let's go back to the studio and Sarah Walsh.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. Alongside Ricky Craven, Jamie McMurray in studio. The Cup qualifying is set. We said we didn't know what to expect, but now we have a little better of an idea. At least we know where they're going to qualify.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very entertaining, and it was a mixed bag. And so it wasn't Martin Truex, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch dominating like they had last year. It was a relatively new group, and very happy for Eric Almirola.
Yeah, you're looking at the top 3 right there. Eric Almirola, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Clint Boyer. It was a really good day for Stewart-Haas Racing, but in particular, Almirola, who pulled this off.
Yeah, I mean, what a day of strategy. When you heard Clint say, I mean, I don't know that we've ever heard someone at Atlanta talk about strategy playing into who out-qualified someone else. It's always been just one lap as fast as you can go right on the bottom, but you saw the 10 car be able to run a really good lap by running high for the entire first lap, then move to the bottom. Stenhouse did the same thing and kind of broke up the Stewart-Haas dominance.
This is the most tire-sensitive racetrack on the schedule, or at least it used to be. So, I mean, we've already got an indication that this rule package is going to mix things up in a big way.
Let's take a look at the order as it is standing now. Here we go, your qualifying results. We talked about the top 3. When you look at the rest of the guys you see on this list right here, Ricky, who's jumping out to you?
Well, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. somewhere along the line discovered something and benefited from it because he didn't appear to be a top 10 qualifier, and he muscled his way to the front row.
Yeah, Stewart-Haas had the fastest cars in round 2. Then those guys had a little strategy going into round 3 and broke that up. But I see Kyle Larson and Kurt Busch there too. CGR had a really good day, being 7th, 8th, and 8th. And what about Michael McDowell? Had that amazing Daytona 500 finish, and then P12 today. That's pretty awesome.
Because so much of this was new and you didn't know what you were going to see, we talked a lot about strategy, and you didn't know what the strategy was going to be. How many guys go back now and you really got to watch sort of the game, put the game film on, and figure out what people were doing and what worked, what didn't?
Well, because it was such a major change during the offseason that you knew that there were going to be some teams that capitalized and some teams that suffered because of it. The most obvious group that was absent today was the Penske 3. Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, and Joey Logano. And without a question, they're going to go back, regroup, and study what they did wrong. But also, it's not just your approach. It's like somebody else discovered something that you didn't know existed.
Yeah, look, when we get to Vegas, I think everyone's going to go back and see what happened here today. The fact that those guys ran high for the entire first lap, similar to what we used to do at Daytona and Talladega. It's very strange, especially for Atlanta. But next week, tires aren't as big of a deal. So when we get to Vegas, everyone's going to have that same strategy and know that the momentum on the second lap is where all the lap time's going to be.
Yeah, and speaking of Vegas, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but, you know, we talked about, okay, so the regular season is sort of starting here. And then you were saying earlier, we're not going to really know what we're seeing for a while. It's not going to get all figured out this weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was very valuable when we heard earlier in the day from Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, and Kevin Harvick. And none of them seemed comfortable. They all seemed like they're a little bit lost for not what the objective is, but how to get there. Now, those are the drivers. Think about the team members and how difficult this is for them. That's what we're up against for at least the next month.
All right, there's a lot of racing going on this weekend. Make sure to tune into Race Day on Sunday for Monster Energy Series Racing from Atlanta. Our race day coverage is going to begin at 12:30 Eastern on FS1 and then continues on Fox at 1:30 Eastern. And we are far from finished today. When we get back, we're going to check in on the action from the rest of the day. Both the Xfinity and Truck Series were in action. We're going to get you caught up, so stick around.
WBC super middleweight title fight is on FS1. Former champion and #1 contender Anthony Durrell looks to reclaim the title as he battles the #2 contender Avni Yildirim, the World Super Middleweight Championship. Durrell, Yildirim, Saturday at 10 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Their béarnaise sauce here is the best in town. What do you do for fun?
Not this.
Oh, what am I into? Mostly Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Helps people find coverage options based on their budget. Flo has it, I want it, it's a whole thing. And she's right there.
Yeah, she's my ride. This date's lame. He has pics of you on his phone.
No, they're very tasteful.
Check out the Spring Fishing Classic at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, where you can trade in an old rod and reel and save even more on a new one. Plus, huge savings, like 50% off spools of Berkeley Trilene Fluorocarbon line.
Make the big leap, even if you have doubts. Take small steps, especially if they're easy. Wash your beard daily to reduce gray gradually. And be open to new firsts like Control GX, the first and only gray-reducing beard wash. Be the better man you are and look the part.
That's magic right there. Kepka, a major champion. What a way to win. You better believe it. Wow. 40 drivers, 3 months of anticipation.
Everybody's in brand new fire suits. Everybody's in brand new paint schemes. Pit crews getting back into race mode. In the race shop, we're building new cars.
Let's go racing drivers!
And we got to live with each other for 36 weekends.
Get out of my box, all right?
People are going to get pissed off. There's a lot of crazy maneuvers that guys will do.
Look at that 9 car!
But we live for those intense situations. Second place is just the first loser.
All-American candidate Marcus Howard leads Marquette against Providence. A big game doubleheader tips off Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox.
The U.S. women's national team take on the world's elite in the She Believes Cup.
This is spectacular.
USA versus Japan. Wednesday at 7 Eastern on FS1.
Welcome back to Fast Friday here on FS1. Monster Energy Series qualifying is in the books. Xfinity Series was on the track earlier today. Want to take a look at some of the highlights from their practice earlier on. Christopher Bell, great prospect, second fastest.
Yeah, he is the head of the class without question. 7 wins last year, 8 in his career. He's only run 42 races, and it doesn't matter where he is, he's fast.
And I know, Jamie, you said a guy to keep an eye on is Cole Custer. He was the fastest in the opening practice session.
Yeah, no surprise here. Cole Custer, Mike Shiplett's come in as crew chief. Shiplett was at CGR last year and had a really good setup for the mile-and-a-half tracks. Cole Custer's been fast at mile-and-a-half tracks his whole career, so no surprise here at all.
Ricky, Noah Gregson, he was second quick in his afternoon session.
Yeah, so this is his first season with Dale Earnhardt or Junior Motorsports, and this is a really good boost for his confidence. I think this young man has a lot of talent. He's got to just relax behind the wheel. Off to a good start.
Justin Haley led the way in the final practice, Jamie.
Yeah, Justin Haley, I've watched him throughout his career, and he is a fast driver, a good driver. I mean, he should have won the Xfinity race at Daytona last summer. So, you know, that's cool for him to be top of the board. That makes you feel so good going into tonight and getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, it gives you a confidence boost. Meanwhile, moving on to the trucks, their practice session. Last week's winner, Austin Hill, wasn't able to practice in the opening truck session. He had some transmission issues there. Meanwhile, Stuart Friesen was the fastest in the first practice, Ricky.
This young, well, I say young man, 35 years old. He hadn't been doing this a long time, but he has come so close to winning, several second-place finishes. He's got most of his histories on dirt, and he's going to be experiencing the same field tomorrow at this track.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed, he was fast all day. He was second quick in both practice sessions.
Yeah, solid week, and he started off to led a bunch of laps last week at Daytona, got caught up in a wreck, but he's with a great team. GMS has had some of the fastest trucks for the past few years, so no surprise to see him up front, and he looks for a good day tomorrow.
And in the final practice, the fastest of all of them, that would be Ben Rhodes, Ricky.
Yeah, I like this young man. He comes from the Camping World East Series, dominated the series. He's done well in the trucks, hasn't broken through to win a championship yet, but he has all the capabilities and talent to do so.
We didn't see him out on the track, but Austin Hill did get out on the track after that transmission issue that had him missing the first practice session. He got back out there, was 6th in that second practice session, and we know he was talking about just how crucial it was for him to get out there and sort of get the feel of things.
Yeah, it's critical, and I think that, you know, he did win the biggest race of the year at Daytona, but there's no substitute for practice and repetition, and he'll have to make up for that quickly.
What are you looking most forward to in these series tomorrow?
Well, it's fun to have 2 races in one day, first off. Not being at the track this weekend, I look forward to be able to watch both of those. But, man, we've got a lot of young talent in both series. I expect Christopher Bell to have a great day, Justin Allgaier. And then we've got all these young guys. Even though they're fairly young themselves, it'll be a fun day of racing.
Jamie's like the common folk now. He's just a fan like the rest of us. Don't forget, we've got a doubleheader coming up tomorrow on FS1. Coverage of the Xfinity race begins at 1:30 Eastern with NASCAR race day. And stick around after that Xfinity race. It's the Gander Outdoor Series hitting the track at 4:30 Eastern. We got more coming at you after the break.
This is your wake-up call. If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, month after month, the clock is ticking on irreversible joint damage. Ongoing pain and stiffness are signs of joint erosion. Humira can help stop the clock. Prescribed for 15 years, Humira targets and blocks the source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Help stop the clock on further irreversible joint damage. Talk to your rheumatologist. Right here, right now. Humira.
It's a good thing you kept your fire extinguisher up to date. Don't worry about the smoke damage. I can help.
What'd you do to your kitchen?
What did you do to my kitchen?
I ain't do nothing. It's easy to, that's not me. I can, like, he has a beard just like me, you know, like, I mean, the beard is pretty dope, you know, honestly.
Are you serious right now?
That's not me.
James, that's you.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
With no choice but to move back home after college, they thought he'd be a little more motivated to find a job. Turns out, they were right.
What's my tax prep gonna cost?
Can't really say that till the end.
Wait, no. H&R Block has upfront transparent pricing, so you know the price before you begin. So it can work like that.
I could give you a ballpark.
Know the price before you begin with new upfront transparent pricing. Block has your back.
Make the big leap, even if you have doubts. Take small steps, especially if they're easy. Wash your beard daily to reduce gray gradually. And be open to new firsts like Control GX, the first and only gray-reducing beard wash. Be the better man you are and look the part.
Down south, Atlanta Motor Speedway is where names are made, like Fireball or Awesomeville.
Here it comes.
Hometown phenom Chase Elliott has to beat the best on the fast track if they're going to sound the siren in Dawsonville. So what's at stake this early in the season? Everything.
Can you believe this?
Folds of Honor Quiktrip 500, Sunday on Fox.
This is such an interesting racetrack. It's the grand old racing surface of NASCAR.
This track is 190 mile per hour, 1.5 mile slick dirt track.
This is a track that separates the good drivers from the great drivers. Buckle up for the second race of the season.
Welcome back to the Race Hub Studios. A full day of racing in the books, and I know a lot of things out there. We weren't sure how it was going to unfold, what to expect. But I think one of the surprises today, Kevin Harvick, who really struggled all day long, and you saw it again in qualifying.
Kevin had a mechanical problem, and his effort back to the right with the steering wheel, there was resistance. And you could see the frustration when he was interviewed, because drivers are okay with things they can fix, but they're not okay with things they have no control over, and that's frustrating for him.
So I've had that problem before. I had it at Charlotte a couple of years ago, and we were not ever able to find it. You put new steering boxes on, new power steering pumps, and all these parts are brand new. And that's the frustrating part, is it's not like it's an old car and it's like, well, it's expected to not work. It's brand new parts that have a lot of quality control inspections put in before you ever get to the track. That's frustrating, right? Like the team's like, we're putting new parts on and you can't fix it. So I hope that they can get that fixed, because it'll be a really fun race on Sunday if we can see the Kevin Harvick from the last 5 years drive through the front, running really low, passing guys. It'll be a great race.
You know how hard it is for not just the driver, but the crew members to go back to their hotel tonight, and know that they don't know until tomorrow's practice whether they've cured it.
Ricky,
that's uncomfortable.
When you're as good as he is on this track in Atlanta, which he just dominates, and you have the frustrating things that happened today, what does that do to your frame of mind?
Listen, the drivers are suffering a little bit right now from what they don't know, and particularly later in life. Kevin's in the 8th inning of his career, with all due respect, and he's used to winning, and he's done a great job at it, but he's not in control right now, either Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. So it's not being in control that's the most uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know that he's that worried about it. He's been around so long that I think that Kevin's like, Rodney, I need you to fix this. They're going to get a plan together tonight. But like you said, the unknown is that until you get on the racetrack, you don't know if you fixed it.
The one thing about Kevin that makes him great is he doesn't panic. When he gets behind the wheel, he doesn't panic, and that's why he's a champion.
Well, it's so funny. I think if it's anybody else, you're thinking, oh my gosh, we got to get this fixed. And I feel like the sentiment with him is, oh, he's Kevin Harvick. It's Atlanta. He'll be fine. There's a look at the pole sitter for Sunday's race. It's Eric Amarola. He's going to lead the field to green. We're going to break down what's coming up around on Sunday next.
Is crispy Applewood smoked bacon the best thing to ever happen to the Big Mac, or what?
No, the Big Mac is clearly the best thing to ever happen to bacon.
Yeah, well, bacon is done just fine without the Big Mac.
Without the Big Mac, would bacon even exist, Steve?
Yeah, it would exist. Oh, it's like that?
McDonald's Classics with Bacon, only for limited time. Is it the best thing to happen to our classics or to bacon? Try for yourself and decide.
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. When your flight gets in late, it's never too early for coffee. Oh, no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Who is that ready this early? It's only 7 a.m. Somebody help me. Close call. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast and a warm welcome. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-woo!
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico?
I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy.
Yeah.
Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Free.
That's right. TurboTax Free is free. Free.
John Tyson's motto was, when better chickens are hatched, we will hatch them. It's why all of the Tyson chicken that bears his name is raised with no antibiotics ever. Every nugget, strip, and drumstick. Keep it real. Keep it Tyson.
At Outback, your steak and lobster wish is our command. Steak and lobster is back by popular demand, starting at only $15.99. Hurry into Outback. And if you want Outback at home, order now.
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated, but 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
The WBC Super Middleweight title fight is on FS1. Former champion and #1 contender Anthony Durrell looks to reclaim the title. as he battles the #2 contender out in Yildirim.
We've got a great fight. Hands on their feet. He's back to get his world title.
The World Super Middleweight Championship, Darrell Yildirim, Saturday at 10 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Welcome back to Fast Friday, and we've got another busy day tomorrow on tap as well. It starts tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern with Xfinity qualifying, followed by qualifying for the Gander Outdoor Truck Series Cup final practice at noon, and then a doubleheader. First, the Xfinity car is getting started at 1:30 Eastern with race day, and the trucks immediately following. So all sorts of stuff going on tomorrow. What are you most excited about?
We're going to see large packs assembled during practice, and it's going to be critical for Joey Logano, Keselowski, Blaney, and for Kevin Harvick, because they have to come up through that turbulent air. The other thing is long runs. It's always been a tire-sensitive racetrack. You're going to see tire wear, long runs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see if Kevin Harvick, if they can get his car fixed. Like, are we going to get that fixed, right? Because that's going to be right. Important for Sunday for those guys. But also just seeing what the line's going to be. Is it going to be traditional low line like he's run, or is it going to be higher for some momentum?
All right, thanks, Ricky. Jamie, we've got a lot going on tomorrow. Thanks everyone for joining us from Atlanta. Don't forget, NASCAR coverage begins at 9:30 a.m. Eastern with Xfinity qualifying right here on FS1. But coming up next, it is time to draw